I grew up with a very different style of parenting, and what I practice could be considered as weakness, but it's not weakness. It's caring. It's helping your kids develop that strength and empathy by seeing that you're trying to be compassionate. You're trying to be empathetic. You're trying to understand where they're coming from. Because after all, this you don't get a guidebook or a handbook on how to operate your child, right? Okay, you know what? After this age, it needs this type of maintenance. You got to do this. You have to order these parts. It just doesn't work that way. You get flung into parenthood and you try to do the best you can, right? And try to damage your kid in the best way. Try to least damage your child. How do you even phrase that properly? Try to not F up your kid, right? That's it. And being kind and gentle isn't a weakness. It's being compassionate. It's offering them that empathy and that respect to be able to develop them and guide them and create that resilience. So it's about creating a trust. And I feel if you came from a childhood where it was very strict and that old school method of parenting where, even me, before having kids, thought, what's wrong with the world today? What's wrong with the world today is that kids aren't beat by their parents. I was beat. I turned out great. I like to think so. And thought that was the answer. I've never spanked my kids. I really thought I would spank my kids. There's been no need. And I think they're high functioning humans. And I actually think that, at times they need to parent me, but shit, I've said this publicly. They've heard that. Does not apply to you kids. This is strictly for my social media, for whatever outcomes I'm trying to achieve through this, which are still unclear to me. Not true. I digress. Being kind, being gentle, being uber patient with your kids is really what we need to do. They need structure. There are times where we need to, drop the hammer on them. But just because our kids being raised in a different way than maybe we grew up doesn't mean it's weak. It's different. And really, it's about teaching that empathy. And it's not about creating weakness because you can strengthen them in other ways. And we'll talk about all the factors. Like I said, the resourcefulness, resilience, empathy, and critical thinking. That resilience piece can be developed in other ways. More on that. Be kind.